Orcs Must Die is a comedic tower defense third-person shooter mashup. Wonderful, my favorite gaming genre and my most hated gaming genre in one package. Sometimes, however, you do get chocolate and peanut butter. You play as the Apprentice, a none-too-bright war mage tasked with defending our world after his master dies in an accident. Orcs stream in from the other world into various fortresses, trying to step through rifts to the other side. If too many get through, it's game over. The Apprentice has a huge pack of tricks and traps at his disposal, and just about every flat surface is a potential spot to fit a trap. Every kill earns you rift points, and you spend the points to lay down even more traps. Simple enough. Every trap is interesting, and you can even hire archers and paladins to aid you in your defense. So once you're ready, you hit the button and the hordes come rushing in. Armed with a crossbow and a sword, you can build traps on the fly or rush around getting your own hands dirty. This was an odd feeling for me. I'm used to building the proverbial machine in tower defense, but not really running around inside it. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just a very strange genre mashup for me. When the last orc is gone, you get a rating out of 5 skulls. You can spend the skulls on upgrades for your stuff, like making certain traps cheaper or reset faster to do more damage. Easy enough, it rewards you for doing well and even has a nightmare mode to test your skills and give you even more skulls so you can upgrade everything in your roster. Where this game trips and falls on its face, unfortunately, is the story. Most of the dialogue is completely drowned out by the shouting, shooting, screaming horde of orcs in battle. Apparently there's a former war mage in the other world mind-controlling orcs and trying to use them to take over the world, but I could barely piece together what was going on. There are no sound options linked to the in-game voices or cutscenes, and asking the developers about it is often met with rude responses and encouragement to buy the sequel. So yeah, don't bother trying to follow the story on this one. Orcs bad, traps good, and that's about it. The Apprentice really isn't a character that I enjoyed being around very much. He's not very bright and acts like a complete jockstrap, and frankly isn't very relatable. He doesn't mourn his master, treat his allies with any respect, and frankly is just sort of a douchebag. I really couldn't get behind him on much, inability to follow the story aside. But then again, if he'd been a serious character, he probably wouldn't have fit the setting, because it's very comedic. Anyway, enemy variety is good. Orcs, armored enemies, flying enemies, and a few others. There's probably not more than 10 enemy types, but in a tower defense game with a theme like this one, you really don't need a ton of them. Ogres are your biggest foe, as they often walk through all your traps without being affected, have a ton of armor, and tend to just smile and keep on coming. Often it's them who end up spelling your end if you're not careful. Orcs Must Die is fast, addictive, funny, and certainly very creative. I loved laying traps everywhere I wanted to, listening to the orcs jabber all their hilarious lines, and devising new death trap scenarios for them in every new level. I saw a few glitches here and there, but nothing game-breaking. And Nightmare Mode is just that, a nightmare. And frankly, the average gamer is not going to finish all the achievements here because of it. Unless you really, really devote, Nightmare Mode is going to conquer you. Other than that, this is a fun and funny mashup of genres that really does deserve a close look. I'd say check it out.